today?
Oh, hello. I'm all right, thanks.
That's good. I'm Daphne and you're...
I'm Matthew.
Matthew, lovely to meet you.
Thank you. Yes, it's good to meet you too.
Yeah, how are you feeling?
Not too bad, not too bad. Just a little bit, tossed around. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
And are you comfortable?
Yes, it's a nice chair and the surround is lovely.
Yeah, that's great.
Nice colours.
Yeah, it's a lovely room.
That's it, yeah.
Did the ladies out front get you to fill out all of the forms?
Oh yes, we filled in the forms.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah. And did they talk to you about confidentiality?
No, they didn't actually.
No, that's all right. We'll go over it really quickly just because it is very important in counselling. So anything that happens in this room stays between you or I. And there are a few exceptions to that, and that's if I think you or somebody else is at risk of harming themselves, or if I'm ordered to by court of law.
That's fair enough, yes.
And sometimes I may find that I'm out of my level of expertise. If that is the case, we will have to refer you to someone who does have a higher level of expertise.
Okay, yep.
If that does happen, we'll work on that together with your permission, and we'll try and find the best person.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that all makes sense?
Yes, no worries, yes.
Okay, cool. So we've got about 50 minutes today. What would you like to talk to me about?
Well, it's a very delicate matter. It's a complicated thing. And we've had my mum, Agnes, she's been living with us for 5 years, ever since Dad died. But my wife has been getting more and more frustrated with her, and she's basically said to me that she's really can't stand it anymore. She really doesn't want to live with us anymore. Yeah, so it's difficult. It's hard because when Dad died, I wanted to look after Mum. That's important to me, but in recent times it's just becoming very difficult.
Yeah.
We've got a daughter, and my wife and I try to raise our daughter well, but we find that my mum starts to interfere a little bit in that, and it's been happening for a number of years really, but there was a real big blow up just recently, and so that's really brought everything to a head, I think.
Yeah. Could you tell me a bit about that, please?
Yeah, well, over the years we've found that she jumps in and sort of tries to almost spoil her and make out she can't do a thing wrong, but just about a week ago there was this big problem. My daughter did a really bad thing actually. She stole something from a shop, a bottle of perfume, brought it home, and she got caught, and we were trying to sort that out, but my mum tried to jump in and she interfered, and she said she'd go and she'd give the money to the place and just sort of wash it all over and there'd be no consequences, and my wife and I, well, especially my wife, she was very upset about that because it's my daughter's 13 and we don't want her to feel that she can get away with doing stupid things because not having a consequence, because it's very important to grow an adult now. So that's basically, I guess you call it the last straw for my wife. She's been looking after things at home because I have a very busy job, you see, and so my work keeps me, 10, 12 hours a day, so by the time I get home, I don't have a lot of time to help her out on things, and my mother keeps on causing troubles. That's not good, Yeah, and to top all of it off, just in this last 6 months, my mum has been doing some odd things. It just seemed funny to start with, but then it started to become too often, and she'd do things like she'd put the milk in the dryer, and we'd get this funny smell happening after a while, and we'd realise she'd put it in the dryer, and that was odd. And then another time she'd forgotten to turn off the stove. Thankfully we got it before there was a fire or anything. My wife was getting a little bit nervy about things, so we had to send her for some tests. The doctor suggested that we get it tested, and just this last 2 weeks ago, the doctor said that she does have early stages of dementia, and so it's hard because that's only, it may excuse some things a little bit, but it's not helping my wife at all because she's realising that the pressure's more and more on her, and she doesn't want the responsibility of the danger of it all. So it's difficult.
Yeah.
And so on the one hand, I sort of promised Dad that I'd look after Mum, but on the other hand, it's getting too much, and we have to look at what other options are available.
Yeah. So it sounds like you and your wife and everyone in your family are having a very difficult time at the moment. So I'm really sorry to hear that. If you'd like, we can write some things down, just some of the issues that you're having, just so that we can weigh up so you can see where some of the problems are and see what we can do to help you, because it sounds like you're all very stressed and very touchy at the moment. So
yeah, I'm feeling like the decisions are happening too quickly, and I'm starting to feel guilty already, and I haven't even made a decision. I'm just because I promised Dad that I'd look after Mum,
Yeah.
But Mum's she's made it impossible for 5 years really, but now that she's got this diagnosis, it's only going to get worse. It's no fun at home anymore. I come home to a very difficult household all the time.
Yeah.
And that's not the way it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you want to write some of the things down?
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Yeah. And it's good because it does help just kind of clarify things a little bit, because it does sound like you are having a very hard time coming to a decision. So
well, it all just seems to be pushed in at me, and I'm just feeling bad, and I want to please my wife, and I want to respect my mum, and I don't know, but I want some peace as well.
Yeah. Well, this will definitely help to a certain degree, and then it's really up to you on what you think is best for you and your mum and your family, and sometimes that's a hard thing to come to terms with, so hopefully this will help you a little bit and help ease you. So so what do you think is the major issue?
Well, I think the major issue is my wife's had enough.
Yeah. So would you say that she's stressed out at the moment?
Oh, I think she's past stressed. I think she wants a decision.
Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the worst and 1 being, not the worst, what would you put your wife being stressed at?
Probably even 5.
Yeah.
5, yeah.
5? Right. And is there anything else that you can think of that might be an issue?
Well, the issue of her interfering with the discipline of our only girl is really starting to irritate me as well. And she's been doing that ever since she arrived. So that's an issue that has been grating for a long time.
Yeah.
And now that our girl's 13, I don't want that to start being any more. I don't need 2 opinions on how to discipline.
Yeah. So so your mum almost undermines you a little bit.
That's right.
So on a scale of 1 to 5, where would you put that?
Oh, I'd have to put that at 3 anyway.
A 3?
Yeah.
Right. And would you say that you're feeling stressed out at the moment as well?
Well, I'm feeling stressed because I've got these issues of, I feel bad that I have to make this decision because I said to Dad that I'd look after Mum. So that is an issue for me.
Yeah.
So, that's probably an issue that I feel bad about because I promised Dad to look after Mum.
So on the scale, on 1 to 5 again, where would you put that one?
Probably 3. Yeah,
3?
3,
And can you think of anything else that you might think is an issue?
Well, obviously this medical diagnosis has just come in this last little while, and that's a biggie because it's only going to get worse. And what I thought was just Mum being a bit forgetful sounds like it's only going to get to a place where she's going to become a danger to herself and maybe a danger to living with us. So that is it's something that's really also making me need to be a bit more urgent about this. It's because up till now I've sort of fobbed it off a bit, and now I think this is the final straw, you know.
Yeah. So where would you put that one on the scale?
Well, it's you know, initially I thought I would have put it low, but now the doctors have confirmed it's going to get worse all the time. I'd have to say it's around 4. You know, there is this feeling that she's becoming unsafe very rapidly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my wife's not trained to look after somebody with dementia. Yeah.
So it looks like on the small list that we have of the issues that you've brought up, you've got a lot of things up higher on the scale. So yeah, I think what we have to do is definitely continue coming to counselling, because it sounds like you're having issues with your personal decision, which, like I said, I know decisions can be hard to make, but they have to be done. And
yeah, well, you know, it's just something that I've never done before. I don't know much about the whole idea of what happens and where does she go or anything like that. You know, do you have any information about such a thing? Yeah,
there's a really good aged care, and it's fairly close to here.
Yeah.
It's called TriCare.
Oh yeah.
They're very lovely people. They're very respectful, and they've got high care facilities in there as well. So,
okay. Yeah.
And so you can have the option of being independent, or like I said, going into the high care. They're very lovely people. Very lovely. So you might have to go check that one out. I would recommend that you have a look.
I probably need to have a look at that and probably talk to the information with the doctor about it, to what level they think my mum can cope with. Yeah. Because I don't want to put her in a place too quickly, because you know that I wanted to go somewhere that's nice for her.
Yeah.
Because at least that would be good. So yeah, but I think I'll need to get some information and talk to my wife about it.
Yeah.
And you know, hopefully, you know, we can a little bit more time to just sort it out and find out if there's any vacancies there, I guess.
And because sometimes decisions aren't always made overnight, and I know that can be hard to come to terms with, and this is a very difficult situation. So I'm glad that you came to see me today. Just before we finish, what do you think is the best decision?
Well, I think the best decision is that my mum needs to be safe, and that my wife needs to be not stressed. So and they both point to the same decision, I think. Yeah. So I'll have a look at this centre and see that if Mum would like it, I might take her with me just to have a look at the place maybe, and see how she responds. But you know, I think the big thing for me is that I do have to now, with this dementia and everything else, it's just full on, and I don't think I can put it off for another 6 months. I think I probably have to do something now about getting some proper information and make a good decision. But as long as my mum is going to be somewhere that's safe for her, you know, and that she'll be happy. That's what I want. Yeah,
exactly. So, and I would recommend that you continue to come to counselling, or maybe do family counselling. We do family counselling here, not with me. It'll be with someone else, but I think that might be a good decision as well.
Okay.
Just so that way you can all talk together as a family and unpack some of the issues that are going on.
Yeah, well, that's right. Well, I mean, you know, what my daughter did, it could have been a cry for help, I suppose. You know, I don't know, but maybe having Grandma shift out may give her a bit more freedom to be 13 again and not be bossed around by her all the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we could probably do with a talk around the table with somebody.
Yeah. Alright, we've got about 5 minutes left. Is there anything else you needed to talk to me about?
No, I think it's become pretty clear what we've got to do. It's Yeah, once I started weighing it up with you, it made sense.
And it always helps just to talk and get it off your chest.
Yeah, you know, but I just was feeling really guilty, and I realise now guilt isn't the same thing as doing the right thing for my mum. No.
Alright, so like I said, I'm really glad that you did come to counselling. It's a very good idea, and I also said that I think that you should go to family counselling. If you wanted to follow me out to the front, we'll go book your next appointment, and I can give you information about that aged care facility, and I'll give you information about the family counsellor that works here.